Put it on that beat, go.
Aye, mustard on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap. He a freak throw, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nella to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these? Trying to see Compton, the industry can hate me. Fuck 'em all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pole on him, extort, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles.
We're gonna dedicate this one to the city. Compton, Watts, yeah. Long Beach, Inglewood, Hollywood, out to the Valley, Pacoima, IE, San Bernardino, all that. You know, this is my neck of the woods that's held me down since a young pup. You know, since I was in the studio scrapping to write the best raps and all that, you know, in order to do records like these. So I can't give enough thanks, you know, to these places that I rolled around since high school, you know, and most importantly, the people and the families out in the Palisades and Altadena. This is a true testament that we're going to continue to restore this city. And
you're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, and you were just listening to a musical genius, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar receiving the Grammy Award last night, one of many, including Record of the Year, where he just dedicated that award to the people of Compton and Inglewood and even the folks of the Palisades and Altadena, really seizing the moment to offer a message of unity. We are streaming live on YouTube. We are live on the air. And you can also have folks tap in by downloading the KBLA app to listen to us live. Or you could simply subscribe to A More Perfect Union podcast. That way you'll never miss an episode. You can also just tell Alexa to play KBLA Talk 1580. And so there you have it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Go ahead and tell your neighbor, because we are on the move. Now it's time for the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. But first off, we're going to start with the dumpster fire story of the day. That is Treasury Secretary Bessent has been tapped to run the CFPB and ordered staff to halt work. That's right. Scott Bessent, who was confirmed as the Treasury Secretary just last week, has been named acting director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Bessent replaces Rohit Chopra, who was fired on Saturday. In an internal email shared with sources, staff members were instructed to immediately cease much of the Bureau's work, including issuing or approving proposed or final rules or guidance, and suspending the effective dates of all final rules that have been issued but have not yet become effective. Staff members were also instructed not to commence or settle enforcement actions, nor to issue any public communications of any type, including research papers. The directive was made in order to promote consistency with the goals of the administrations. That's what that email said. For those of you who don't know, the new Secretary of the Treasury is a wealthy hedge fund manager and was already expected to be business friendly to lead the Treasury, but now he will lead the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the federal consumer watchdog, at least for a time. And so, you know, talk about what do they say, Andy? It's the hen. It's the fox watching the hen house. Did I get that right? I think that sounds right. I think it's the fox watching the hen house, and the fox is hungry. And so that is the dumpster fire of the day. Just not a good situation for we the people. But in other news, lung cancer diagnosis is on the rise among never smokers worldwide. When I saw the story, I thought of, remember Christopher Reeve's wife? I don't think she ever smoked. And, she actually died of lung cancer, if I remember correctly. And unfortunately, she's not alone. The proportion of people being diagnosed with lung cancer who've never smoked is increasing, with air pollution an important factor. That's according to the World Health Organization's cancer agency. Lung cancer in people who have never smoked cigarettes or tobacco is now estimated to be the fifth highest cause of cancer deaths worldwide. That's according to the International Agency for Research on Cancer. Lung cancer in never smokers is also occurring almost exclusively as adenocarcinoma, I think I got that right, which has become the most dominant of the four main subtypes of the disease in both men and women globally, and about 200,000 cases of adenocarcinoma were associated with exposure to air pollution in 2022. The largest burden of adenocarcinoma attributable to air pollution was found in East Asia, particularly in China. And so the more you know. That China don't have a lot of environmental regulations. And so over here in the United States, if we're talking about deregulating, just know that sometimes it comes at a cost. And that cost can sometimes be not so good for our health. When we're talking about some of the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day, for the folks out there across states like California, pay extra close attention to this. State Farm seeks an urgent increase in California rates after the fires. State Farm, the largest homeowner insurance company in California, asked state insurance regulators on Monday to urgently approve a 22% average rate increase, a worrying sign for an already fragile insurance market in a disaster-prone state. In recent years, the New York Times is reporting that more Californians have struggled to secure affordable homeowners insurance as companies have raised the rates or pulled out of the market altogether as fires and other disasters have become more destructive. Just last month's blaze right here in the LA region, which destroyed 12,000 homes, have only heightened those concerns as people have weighed whether to rebuild. State Farm has received more than 8,700 claims from the Los Angeles fires alone, and they've paid more than $1 billion to customers. That's according to the company, but the insurer expects to pay out significantly more, and the fire will be the costliest in the history of State Farm. State Farm General, which insures more than 1 million homeowners in California, is operating separately from affiliates that provide auto and life insurance. The company asked state regulators to approve the rate increase on renewals starting in May. This is interesting. I mean, that is not a small increase. 22%? Approve a 22% increase on average? What does that mean in terms of people being able to rebuild? What does it mean in terms of who gets to afford to purchase real estate, own real estate in California that is properly insured? There are far-reaching implications of this, and we'll be sure to have somebody on to help us make sense out of it. But when we come forward, we're switching gears, and we're digging into some of the biggest headlines coming out of last night's Grammy Awards, and we got the right ones to help us do exactly that. Ural Garrett, who is not just an Inglewood native, but he's co-host of KBLA's Lyric Lounge with Tasha, Teal, and Ural, alongside digital editor for a nonprofit Know Your Rights Camp. He is the right person to help us unpack some of the biggest headlines coming out of the Grammys. And he's not alone. Chuck Nunley will also be joining us. Chuck is someone who is a musician, a filmmaker, a multimedia producer, and he's been focused on a lot of creative projects over the years. And this is another hometown guy that's here to help us again sort through the fact of the fiction from last night's Grammy Awards. More when we come forward. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-511-2112. That's 800-511-2112. 800-511-2112.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests as we effort to build a more perfect union.
All the leaves are brown. And the sky is gray. Thank you. I've been for a while. Show
California Dreamin'. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai and wasn't it a beautiful, beautiful rendition of a classic song that was the one and only Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga that gagged us yesterday at the Grammys with that rendition. To talk about that and so much more, I'm really delighted to welcome to the show Ural Garrett. You hear him every week as co-host of KBLA's Lyric Lounge with Tasha, Teal, and Ural. He is another one that's homegrown. This is a recurring theme today on the show. A lot of Inglewood natives that are here. Welcome, Ural.
Hey, thanks for having me today.
And we're not alone. Chuck Nunley is here. Chuck Nunley, he is multi-hyphenated. This is a musician, a filmmaker, a multimedia producer. You all may know him as DJ Chuck, the Old Soul. He's giving me old soul vibes right here. He didn't know I was a hat guy. He's got his hat on here, right? He's over here doing it. He is a part of Honor Flow Productions. He an HFP bandmate, and he is somebody who tracks the music industry very closely because it is his industry, and he's here to give us an insider's point of view on some things. Welcome to the show, Chuck.
Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate it. And one other thing I want to add to the bio, too, a native of View Park, California.
Oh,
as well.
wait a minute. Okay.
Let me make that clear, too.
What? Okay. Something about to pop on.
No, it's good. It's good to be on the show, man, and be here, man. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. Ural's my man, 50 grand, so thanks for having me on here as well.
Well, thank you for being here. I mean, well, first things first, we just heard that beautiful rendition. I certainly think that was one of the bright moments from a lot of bright moments at the Grammys last night. But is there a particular moment that sticks out to you, Ural?
Several. Obviously, we can head right into it. I mean, Beyonce finally getting her album of the year.
Yep.
Was wowed. Even before that, huge fan of I'm like a huge fan of Charlie XCX. So seeing her do Von Dutch is like that was like my song of last year.
You've been co-signing that album a lot on Facebook. Yeah, I had to go check it out.
Brat was awesome. Yeah, Brat is like audio cocaine pretty much.
Oh Lord,
it really is. Let's see that Cynthia Erivo's performance during the Quincy tribute was phenomenal.
So we're gonna get into that. So Cynthia Erivo's tribute to Quincy Jones. We're gonna talk a little bit later about Alicia Keys' big moment as she received the Global Impact Award. We'll get into that in a little bit, and then a little bit later we're gonna talk about Janelle Monáe versus Nelly.
Oh, God.
Right? And so if you are in the chat and you got something to say, if you want to weigh in, sound off. And we'll get to you as soon as we can in this conversation. But you brought up Beyonce. Big night for Beyonce.
Yes.
Can we just first start with Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album winning the Grammy for the Best Country Album? This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Chuck, tell the people, in your view, why this is a big deal. I mean, album of the year is great, but like Beyonce winning country album?
Let's make something perfectly clear. All genres of music are created by black people. Let's make that perfectly clear here. And the basis line of country music is a storytelling. You see someone like Ray Charles who made country records in the 60s and the 70s. You look at the next generation of Darius Rucker. Now you look at Shabuji, who's also on Cowboy Carter, who's had a huge record in his own right. This is huge because this is Beyonce doing what Beyonce does best, whatever she wants at this point in her career. She goes, okay, I've made pop albums, I've made dance albums, I made a great disco record in Renaissance. What is the next thing I'm going to do to make sure I get this album of the year to show I am a well-rounded, complete artist like I know I am? I'm going to make a country record. If you don't believe in the artistry of Beyonce at this point, I don't know what else she can do for you. It's incredible how multi-genre the 30+ year of her career is. It's a capstone last night, and it's amazing how she's able to break the lines in the good old boy, so to speak, line of country music. And I think after the CMAs that kind of shafted her a little bit.
I like to believe like this is like I like Beyonce's revenge story that kind of dates dates back to 2016, 16 around Lemonade and Daddy's Lessons, and what happened with the Dixie Chicks and the Country Music Awards, where they kind of like didn't even like replay her performance with the Dixie Chicks of Daddy's Lessons, and she kind of got pushed aside by country radio, because I know with Lemonade she had serviced Columbia had serviced every song on that album to various radio stations. Radio station formats in country kind of pushed her to the side. So when you look at kind of like how that starts and like how this ends with her winning Album of the Year and Best Country Album, it's kind of like this is her revenge, because the reality is that the Country Music Award is an important award within country music culture, but it's kind of like the difference between getting like an American Music Award compared to like a Grammy. It's just like it, even if culturally within country she's not necessarily accepted, I think because of her pop status, and like I said, most pop stars at Beyonce's age usually kind of experiment and play around with different styles and all of that. I'm like, Madonna's done it, Michael Jackson did it, every top tier pop artist does it.
Yeah.
But I think that there's something a lot different this time in her breaking the ceiling in regards to the racial component of country music. And she also did it in a very smart way with Cowboy Carter by not doing it alone, by having a Tanner Adele, Dolly Parton, Miley Cyrus, and
Willie Nelson. You got two of the greatest to co-sign it all top for you. You got to the awards ceremony. Two of the greats saying we co-signed this is authentic. So if you have Willie and Dolly co-signing, who else do you need?
Willie and Dolly. Oh my goodness. And look, the New York Times has even said that Beyonce's when she won the Grammy for Best Country Album, becoming the first Black artist to achieve the feat.
Yes.
Remember, she said, quotes, "I think sometimes genre is a code word to keep us in our place as artists. And I just want to encourage people to do what they're passionate about." And so I actually think that Beyonce's star, if you could even imagine this, has risen even higher, right? Because in saying that, I mean, think about all of the young artists that she has now empowered.
Yeah.
To not fall into, not be duped by this idea that if you're R&B artist, you can only be R&B.
Yeah.
If you're country, you can only be country. Right? Now, how is the industry going to respond to this? Because the industry is built off of keeping people in their place, right? And so you have one of the biggest stars that said, no, you don't got to play it that way.
Well, I would like to also say, I think what really happened was the transition over from physical media and us going to the record stores, where because of capitalism, it was more so of this section here is for R&B, this section here is for rock, because genres were really more of a like separation in regards to the marketplace and how labels and stores, brick and mortar stores like a Warehouse and Tower Records kind of categorized, but because now we're in a digital era, and your average listener, especially let's just say 40 and below, are definitely agnostic when it comes to what they listen to.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think it makes sense for someone like Beyonce to feel that way, because now it's like genres necessarily don't matter as much now, because again, we're not in the age where we have music videos. We're not watching music videos on television that's like outside of YouTube, or we don't have like separate video shows anymore. Like even if you look at like legacy media like MTV and BET, they're not playing music videos anymore. They're playing 24 hours of ridiculousness and Basketball Wives and whatever Tyler Perry showed.
So that means no more BET After Dark.
No, unfortunately, no more Uncut.
Uncut.
However, I will say they should bring back VH1's pop-up video.
Yes. And that'd be awesome.
If that would be awesome.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
You know.
Yeah, but also we don't even need that, because people are doing reaction videos to music videos on YouTube anyway.
This is true.
But some people with a mic don't deserve to have a mic, and you need people who have expertise for it. And I'm glad you say pop-up video, because I credit pop-up video to be the starting point of me being a music nerd and really getting into the fact. Yeah. Look, VH1. I want to give a shout out to VH1 Soul while we're at it too, especially 2004 to 2008. The program, but anyways, to piggyback what Rel said, we are in the playlist generation.
Yes.
We are definitely the playlist
Absolutely.
generation to where now music is not segregated in terms of how you come about it. You can have, if you drive in my car and it's the same, you'll have a hip hop song, an R&B song, a rock song, a house song. Now, I think as far as the industry keeping artists in their place, I think the gate's been broken. Yeah, Chaperone up there saying yesterday, giving her speech, I think it's about time that artists have some type of union, some type of protection for medical care, for proper treatment. Like, we have the labels. Do you have our backs? To kind of paraphrase what she said, we are in a very much in a changing landscape of the industry to where labels are not labels. They are management boutiques. They are trying to actually.
They're banks.
Matter of fact, here's what's crazy. I saw a job entry at Live Nation on on LinkedIn last week for music management for labels. So now you have, everybody trying to be a one-stop shop. They're trying to corner the market as much as possible, but it's not going to work.
And I think a lot of that has to go because, music is nowadays, music is a relatively cheap product. Yeah. And not in the sense of like the quality, it's the fact that anybody can put out music. You can go right now, sing some songs, and go to DistroKid and upload ASAP, right? So what that's done is democratize the market to a fact that like labels, I think labels are needed in regards to creating the big marquee superstar. Right. But the big marquee superstar is like the 1%. Now. Yeah. It's like the 1%. It's not the total.
We're gonna dig deeper into this, and also just a reminder, remember those country radio stations that were giving minimal attention to songs on Cowboy Carter and Beyonce? Yeah. I remember she received no nominations at last year's CMA. Well, it looks like Beyonce has had the last laugh. Absolutely. When it comes to that, and we love to see it. When we come forward, we're digging even deeper into some of the biggest headlines coming out of last night's Grammy Awards. Alicia Keys receiving a Grammy Award for her global social impact, and she didn't miss the moment. She really took advantage of the opportunity to offer a counter-narrative around diversity, equity, and inclusion. We'll tell you all about that and more when we come forward. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're looking to be engaged, enlightened, and empowered about issues related to national politics, elections, identity, culture change, and social justice, you've tuned into the right place. A More Perfect Union continues when we come forward.
The wind is blowing cold. Have we lost our way tonight? Have we lost our hope to sorrow?
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Reports say the Trump administration is setting an 1,800 daily arrest quota for ICE. Democrats worry it could lead to wrongful detention, citing past mass deportation mistakes. Wall Street is closing lower after a volatile start to February. Stocks trim losses after a sharp sell-off over new U.S. tariffs. Markets staged a comeback after the U.S. and Mexico announced tariffs will be paused for a month. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams is reviewing how Trump's tariffs on Canada and Mexico will impact the city. While Mexico gets a 30-day pause for border security, Canada faces a 25% duty on all imports, and China an extra 10% tax. And the late Jimmy Carter is a Grammy winner again. The former president posthumously received the award for his audiobook, Last Sundays in Plains, a centennial celebration. It marks the 4th Grammy for Carter, who passed away at the age of 100 on December 29th. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Big problems continue in downtown Los Angeles with ongoing protests really affecting the 101 freeway as the protesters are on the overpasses. This is pretty much near Los Angeles Street, also Main Street in the downtown LA area. Also affected are the surrounding surface streets, especially around City Hall. South 101 loads up out of Hollywood, leaving Santa Monica Boulevard all the way into downtown LA. And let's also check out the drive in Irvine. This is on the 5, making your way northbound. Earlier car fire. Let's make that the southbound side of the 5 before Jeffrey Road. That's where the 4 right lanes are blocked. Delays away from Main Street.
Choking is the 4th leading cause of accidental deaths. LifeVac is a life-saving airway clearance device, which has saved over 3,000 lives. Go to lifevac.com and enter promo code LIFE to save 20% to secure your home kit today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers' new star, Luka Doncic, arrived in Los Angeles Sunday night. Doncic was part of a 3-team trade Saturday that sent Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers aren't sure when Doncic will be able to play. The Lakers played the Clippers Tuesday and Golden State on Thursday. Doncic hasn't played since Christmas Day because of a strained calf muscle. Doncic is a 5-time first-team All-NBA selection, but behind the scenes in Dallas, he had a reputation for poor conditioning and bad eating habits. NBA sources say the lack of focus and taking care of his body is one of the reasons the Mavericks were willing to trade Doncic. The Lakers might be considering other moves before Thursday's trade deadline. They need to come up with an impact player in the middle. It will be very difficult to replace the production they got from AD on both ends of the court. More to come on this situation. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's KBLA Talk 1580's third annual Black History Month luncheon, and you're invited. This is year 2 of our climate justice work, and this year's $2 million 12-month campaign is all about linking and combating the relationship between climate and Black health. We already know that these wildfires will leave in their wake even greater inequities, including negative impacts on Black health, given the toxic air pollutants circulating in the air we breathe. So, as part of this year's climate campaign, we're honoring Black doctors and leaders in healthcare at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Friday, February 28th at noon. If you would like to join us, just go to our KBLA 1580 website and register for your chance to be our guest at the luncheon. We'd love to see you. And in case you haven't heard the news, KBLA Talk 1580 was just named one of the semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it. When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Hit me! National news of consequence, informed opinion, and analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is not the time to shut down the diversity of voices. We've seen on this stage talented, hardworking people from different backgrounds with different points of view, and it changes the game. DEI is not a threat, it's a gift. And the more voices, the more powerful the sound. When destructive forces try to burn us down, We rise from the ashes like a phoenix. And as you see tonight, music is the unstoppable language that connects us all. It's so beautiful.
So beautiful indeed, and Alicia Keys was looking so beautiful as she accepted the Global Impact Award at last night's Grammy Award. It was really cool to see Alicia Keys in her own way offering a counter narrative to some of the headlines that we have been reading. It seems like daily. Related to the attack on all things diversity, equity, and inclusion. Here to help me unpack that, Ural Garrett. You all might be familiar with him because it's my colleague here at KBLA. He's co-host of KBLA's Lyric Lounge with Tasha, Teal, and Ural. He's also a media strategist, and we are pleased to have him here, along with Chuck Nunley. Some of y'all may know him as DJ Chuck the Old Soul. The Old Soul and folks that are part of his band have an album that's out right now. His latest album is entitled The Black Odyssey.
Yes, it is.
And so be sure to go pick that up. Where?
You can pick it up anywhere. Streaming services, onandflowproductions.com. Acronym for Black is Beyond Light Years Away, Carrying Knowledge. Please check it out. It's a great record.
Well, there you have it there. And so, Ural, tell me, what did you make of Alicia Keys' very powerful speech lifting up women in the industry? Of course, she was presented with the Global Icon Award from none other than Queen Latifah, a trailblazer in her own right. What did you make of the speech?
Okay, past the irony of the Dr. Dre Award, past the irony, we don't have to say much. I'm a fan of Dre though, but the irony is there. We don't have to go there. This is obvious because I think the thing about music, especially, I guess more so of any other aspect of entertainment, I think music, especially in America, because it's rooted in, just like we said earlier, it's rooted in black creativity. And I think that kind of peppers out into kind of like just the overall music industry, which I like to say is definitely a lot more diverse than, say, film, television, and
Absolutely.
Gaming, and all these kind of other mediums. I think music is definitely a lot more, liberal. It's a lot more free, a lot more, clearly yesterday, with Chapel Roan's, a lot more LGBTQ plus friendly. So I think Alicia making the speech the way she did was pretty much par for the course. It was obvious. It was, somebody was going to say it.
And to see her exercising her voice, I mean, I don't know how many of you all saw some of the red carpet before, but, Kanye West showed up on the red carpet along with his wife, who was clothed until she wasn't. And I was just watching social media and looking at how folks were responding to that. Red carpet moment that looked like the deleted scenes from somebody's OnlyFans. And a lot of women, thought it was cringy, right? It felt like he was exercising control as opposed to creating art or co-creating art. Chuck, what did you make of it?
Man, let me just be first and foremost, as someone that lives with two women, I'm not going to tell a woman or say what's constricting to them. If I don't know their relationship, if she's good with that, they're good with it. That's none of my business. But I do want to focus on, it was a great night for women artists. You have Doechii. You have Rhapsody winning Grammy finally. You have Karumbin up there performing. There were so many great moments. I think last night was one of the best produced Grammy Awards we had in a while, where it was music heavy.
Yeah.
And not a lot of the nonsense or the politics we had before.
Even though I will say that I was disappointed with even though Doechii was the clear winner for Best Rap Album, I do think that there were better other nominees. Like Eminem didn't have to be there because That's Slim Shady was garbage.
It was
J. Cole's album was like, I might delete this later, was like, I mean, come on. I think Megan should have, Megan Thee Stallion's Megan album definitely should have got a nomination, and Glorilla's album could have got a nomination. I think there were actually more. I think last year for sure, women had a better time outside of Kendrick and the Drake stuff.
Right.
Women had a way better. They were way more entertaining, just pure entertainment, than men in hip hop.
But I will make the argument. Maybe it's just my taste. I love the Auditorium Volume 1 with Common.
Oh yeah, I love that.
That
yeah,
record was fun.
Yeah,
that was my pick, but. It's Doechie's time. There's no
Doechie checked off all the boxes.
And you know what the thing about Doechie that makes so much sense? Her visuals, her performance, the way she brings. One of her main idols I saw in an interview with Nardwuar is Grace Jones.
Yeah,
makes total sense when you see everything she does.
Yeah.
Total sense.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, speaking of phenomenal artists that are walking in legacies like the ones of Grace Jones, we saw Cynthia Erivo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last night perform the Quincy Jones tribute.
Yeah.
Introduced, of course, by Will Smith. Take a listen to Cynthia Erivo's experience. It was really, really something else. I'm a big Cynthia Erivo fan. I think she's having a phenomenal
How many times
year.
have you seen Wicked?
I've seen Wicked once. Once is enough. Did you see it more than once?
Once.
Coming soon to Peacock.
Yeah, once.
20 more times. I've never seen Wicked, so I got to get into it. I can see what the hype is.
It's really good. It's really good.
Get into it.
And I think a lot of people are really paying a lot of extra close attention to the storyline of Wicked because there's a lot of folks feeling like Elphaba.
Yeah.
and we walk around. We looking at a lot of Glendas.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Glendas.
I understand how Glendas are made.
I don't know. Glenda's feeling a little bit related to Miss Millie, if you ask me. Glenda might be Miss Millie's kin. I don't know. Those wires got crossed. Cynthia did The Color Purple on Broadway, so I don't know if the scripts got mixed up.
Possibly.
I don't know. But we'll play that for you in a second. But look, you're right. This was a Grammy Awards that felt very different from Grammy Awards of late. And considering the pressure that a lot of public figures are under right now around diversity, equity, and inclusion, you saw a number of them unafraid to push back, right? Not just Alicia Keys during her Global Impact Award acceptance speech, but you saw Lady Gaga cape for the LGBTQ community and particularly the trans community,
Absolutely.
right?
She's always been an advocate.
Right. We saw Beyonce presented with one of her many awards last night from LA firefighters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so, you couldn't do a show in LA without acknowledging the experience that so many people are still having related to that tragedy. And so there was a lot to carry. There was a lot to hold this Grammys. Are we all in agreement that, the Recording Academy did it right?
I was doubtful at first because it didn't feel like Grammy weekend because a lot of the events surrounding were canceled because of the fires.
And
but
if they were there, they were more around fire relief and all of that stuff.
But I think the Recording Academy stuck the landing. They have made a conscientious effort in the last 4 years to brighten up and also young up their voter base. They have conscientiously made campaigns for it. You had recommendations for it. I had to write one for a friend of mine last week. I think Harvey Mason Jr. is trying to get it right. I'm not saying he got it right fully so far.
He got it right enough to get the weekend back.
Oh, man.
He got it right enough to get him back.
Because you want to talk about the shafting of the year, Blinding Lights not being record and song of the year. Years ago? They got that severely
wrong. It was wrong. Absolutely.
Well, let me tell you what else is wrong, or at least according to Janelle Monáe, it was Nelly. He got it wrong in terms of his decision to perform for Donald Trump at the inauguration. When we come forward, we're going to play that clip for you of Janelle Monáe performing. We'll make sure that we have the bleeper button ready to go when we come forward. We are live here in studio with Ural and DJ Chuck. And we are unpacking last night's Grammy Awards. Lots of unforgettable moments, but these are just a few highlights. More when we come forward. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
For 75 remarkable years, our Authors Study Club has partnered with the City of Los Angeles to present African American Heritage Month celebrations. This Friday, February 7th, Mayor Karen Bass and Council President Marquise Harris Dawson will continue this extraordinary tradition with a Diamond Anniversary celebration for the ages. Join Honorary Chair Yvonne Wheeler, President of the LA County Federation of Labor, as we honor today's champions. Join actor and author Courtney B. Vance at the Central Library on Saturday, February 8th for a conversation on Black men healing. Additional free events will continue throughout the month of February, sponsored by the Brotherhood Crusade, LA Metro, and ABC7. Don't miss your chance to be part of this month-long unprecedented legacy. For more information and to RSVP, log on to oascla.org. This is your moment. This is our history. This is Los Angeles leading the nation again.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to slow it down. Get it going slower. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression. Izervay gets GA going slower. Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today. Izervay gets GA going slower. Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you, working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. You were just listening to the Janelle Monáe, who has condemned Nelly just yesterday for the singer's Trump inauguration performance. It's kind of a cold move to sample the song of the individual while you diss them on the track. The Hollywood Reporter reporting that Monet rapped her comments during the Grammy after party. A TMZ video showed where she sang the cover of Nelly's Hot in Here and said some things that we can't say on air that were bleeped out. But she said that she used to like Nelly, but then when he went to perform for Donald Trump, she said, Nelly, you sold out. I used to think he was cool, but now you look like a MF fool. That's what Janelle Monáe said. Have you ever seen somebody diss somebody on their own track?
Oh man, Jacking for Beats, man.
Yeah,
It's almost like
Jacking-
Ice
yeah, I was
Cube,
like,
almost
yeah.
like it's spirit of hip hop, right
yeah,
there.
pretty
Oh,
much.
my
And I will say that definitely Janelle Monáe did that. Definitely made up for that very poor Michael Jackson
I
part.
thought she did a solid
that
job
was bad.
last
That was
night.
bad.
The first
That
time,
was bad.
the
Why
first-
they didn't get Chris Brown to do that? They gave him
we
an album.
know why they didn't get Chris
They gave him an
Brown
album.
for
They gave
it.
him best R&B album for 11/11.
Yeah, but I
might
mean,
as
to
well.
invite him on stage. Like, look,
they
Janelle. The first time I ever saw Janelle Monáe was 2009 Grammy weekend Moja Moja brunch with Garth Trinidad, and she danced on Macy Gray's table during a song she was performing. She's been dancing on tables and killing it like that for like 15 years.
Yeah, but she shouldn't. Yeah, that was bad.
I thought she did a solid job.
Why they didn't get Chris Brown? They got Dr. Dre got an award named after
They
him.
are not going to have Chris Brown.
Why
back
not?
Well, but wait a minute. Taylor Swift, she was clapping for Janelle Monáe. Didn't she catch? She caught her jacket.
I mean, it was like, yeah, it was. I mean, that's just Taylor being nice because she always nice to people.
Taylor always trying to get invited to the barbecue.
She was just being nice. Yeah, she was being
She
nice.
always trying to
She
get
was
to the
dancing
barbecue.
She was dancing the whole night off that champagne. She was
People-
off the champagne.
People think I'm
If she don't get a champagne deal, if she don't get a
I don't-
champagne deal,
look,
we got a problem.
Look, I did the Grammys once, and I was off the champagne heavy. So I get the feeling. So you just liking everything when you're there. You're liking the vibe. That's just the vibe.
People think I'm crazy when I say this, but I think Taylor Swift going to end up with a brother because she'd be around. I keep saying it. It's gonna happen eventually. I don't know who, but she wants to be invited to the cookouts. Man.
Hey, clearly.
Man.
I'm sorry. So is this an invitation to
Look. T Swift could come down to the barbecue.
Taylor Swift?
She can come down to the barbecue, man. Maybe take her to Woody's or something like that. I don't know.
Hey,
man.
why not?
Why not? Make it a Phillies.
Because don't think Taylor Swift ain't streaming KBLA right now.
She's still in the city, man. Come on down and see us.
But real talk, we didn't see Nelly at the Grammys at all, right? Did Nelly do some irreparable damage to his career after having, performed at Trump's inauguration? I think it was his pre-inauguration. And the only comparison I can draw is to Chrisette Michele, right, who had performed at the first Trump inauguration and was sort of blackballed for a long time. Should we expect the same with Nelly?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: Chrisette Michele was always a B-level R&B artist. She was never like she was. I always think she barely has a gold gold certification. So I think the comparison.
Did she know that?
And there's no diss. She's a phenomenal artist.
Yeah,
That's no
absolutely.
diss.
That's no diss, but that's just the context of. And I think the second thing is that if you've been following Nelly over the past maybe 10, 15 years, he's kind of been leading to this anyway. He's one of the first rappers to really kind of catch on the country vibe, the country
Florida
wave.
Georgia line.
Yeah, he's been kind of, and then he's the first rapper to go to Bronson. And you know what Bronson, you've heard of that.
No, what's Bronson?
So Bronson is this like town, I think it's in Michigan or Missouri, and it's where like the Osmonds play. It's like a white Christian vacation resort.
Oh wow!
And he's one of the first, and like the Osmonds play there like every month and stuff. And Nelly is the first rapper to perform there, like to have like a regular kind of performance gig.
Is that like
there.
a thing? Do people aspire to perform there?
I've never heard of this.
I don't think people really necessarily. I say this. I don't think people necessarily aspire to be there. I just think that that resort or whatever is just kind of like what is kind of like just like the thing that like a lot of country artists perform there.
And it's a place where we have historically been shut out.
Exactly.
So the fact that he performed there, it meant something in terms of the
particular
history
culture.
Got it.
Yeah, that particular culture. So between that and then, like I said, he's been kind of on this like country vibe for the longest.
Since Tim McGraw record, over and over again.
Over and over again.
That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, so he's been on this path for a while. So I think honestly, and then even the over and over thing kind of came after the tip drill controversy.
Oh,
so
man.
and I think he's kind of
this was the BET After Dark.
Yeah. So I think he's been kind of heading, and you're noticing that with a lot of, in my opinion, you're noticing that with a lot of kind of veteran artist rappers. They kind of get to this point to where you either become like a Jay-Z or you become like a Nelly, and you kind of just start kind of hanging out with like I say you kind of start hanging out with like the country hick white supremacist type of crowd that is going to kind of like make you like their token Negro, and you kind of have like a safety net there without having to worry about kind of being an artist. You can kind of just like kind of
look. All I'm saying is Janelle Monáe, she was rapping about Nelly.
Yeah.
She didn't say nothing about Snoop, right? And both of them were a part of Trump's inauguration. And so in our remaining minute, what do you make of that? Why did she decide to go after Nelly, but look pretty hands off when it came to Snoop? They both performed for Trump.
Okay, so there's two things about that. So Snoop's performance was at a crypto event. I think it's more of a financial and a business move than him signing with the Donald at this point, because you had Soulja Boy, Rick Ross. I think it's more of a business move because of crypto, not necessarily him siding with Trump's politics.
And apparently, according to my sources, that event was kind of already planned like months before they even knew who was going to win. I think just like a lot of crypto bros, they kind of just going whatever to win, bros.
So it was an event for whoever would have won.
Whoever would have won,
And secondly, I am not gonna lose sleep for Nelly performing for Trump. I'm just not gonna lose sleep over it, man. Look, if he's gonna do what he's gonna do, he's gonna do what he's gonna do.
Like
but you know what? I think in terms of the focus of the politics, and I say that as someone that is not in agreement with a lot of the Donald's policies here, many of them for that matter. I think are we really putting political pressure on Nelly to speak for our community, which is the hilarious part of it.
Well, we're gonna have to leave it there. And we're gonna let folks duke it out in the group chat. My thanks to Mr. Chuck Nunley here. Remember, check out his latest album entitled "The Black Odyssey." This is DJ Chuck, the old soul right here. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And also to my colleague, Ural Garrett. You can find him as co-host of KBLA's Lyric Lounge with Tasha Teal and Ural, which is here on KBLA when?
Saturdays at 4 p.m. PST.
Check it out.
All right, there you have it here. We'll have to leave it here. My thanks to the entire village that helps us produce a More Perfect Union each and every day. Our executive producer, Tavis Smiley. Our sound engineer, Andy. Our show producers, Kim and Faraji. And, of course, each and every one of you, all of our leaders, learners, and listeners. Remember, don't panic. Organize. Do what you can from where you are with what you have. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, and you've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The FAA is restricting helicopter traffic near Reagan National Airport after last week's deadly crash. The ban covers the Potomac River but exempts law enforcement, medical, and presidential flights. Testimony is continuing in former Glenn County, Georgia DA Jackie Johnson's case accused of blocking the Ahmaud Arbery investigation. Prosecutors say she told police not to arrest Travis McMichael, now serving life in prison. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he's